Good morning to one and all. Today's video is going to be on macroeconomics, which is going to be the first chapter in second PUC economics. There are two books. The first one will talk about micro. The second book will talk about macroeconomics. So we are starting here with macroeconomics. The chapter name today that we are going to discuss is Introduction to Macroeconomics. That's the first chapter in macroeconomics. Now, what is the meaning of macroeconomics? Now, macro itself means that we are dealing the economics, that is the study of economics as a whole. In the country, we are going to study as a whole. So now macroeconomics is just the opposite of microeconomics. In micro, we are studying about an individual. In macro, we are going to study about the entire country. So macroeconomics is a very, very important topic. Why? Because you shall be studying about national income, money and banking, about the employment rate, GDP, GNP, open market economy, and the various core sectors that are available in this country that add up to the total economic growth of our country. So, macroeconomics is a very, very important topic and a part of the economics because that will be concerned about the entire nation. So, what is so different when we move away from micro? The moment you talk about macroeconomics for a large diversified country like India, where you have 29 states and 6 union territories, you shall see that every single state, every single union territory shall add up to the economy of the country. Even the single transaction, the least transaction that will be made by a village, that will be made by a district or a state or any other local heads will add up to the total of the country. So when we talk about employment rate, when we talk about unemployment growing up, when we talk about any kind of national importance, then automatically macroeconomic factors start setting inside. So, in macroeconomics, the most important thing that we need to keep in mind as a part of the second PUC economics is that you are going to study the economic factors as a whole for the entire country. So you're not just going to study about individual, you're going to study the entire country, its economic importance altogether. So when we deal about a large country like India, every single statistics will matter and will add up to the total of the country. So in macroeconomics, the other important factor that we also need to understand is that macroeconomics will give the overall picture about the economic health of a country. Now, what is economic health? There are many countries like India which are equally well developed, equally progressing, and they are trying to make different rapid strides towards technology, towards exports, and so many other factors. So, as a country, when we talk about India, we need to know that this macroeconomic factors will tell how the country is making progress with comparison or with respect to other countries. So macroeconomy will also give you a picture as how the country is making its progress in comparison to all other countries in the world. Probably we would have heard about this word or the topic called as emerging economies, developing economies, or developed economies. How do you classify a country and say some countries are developed, some other countries are underdeveloped, and some other countries are developing in nature? All these words look similar to us when we study about the macroeconomics. But then when you go for a deeper understanding, you try to understand that even the smallest statistical figure, not alone the GDP, even the smallest statistical figure, that might be about a human development index, that might be about some output, that might be about some labor factor or an agricultural factor. Like this, there are many factors that we will discuss in macroeconomics. All these things put together will make a huge difference in the image of the country. So for a country like India, 8 core sectors and several non-core sectors comprises to project the macroeconomic factor. So we need to understand in the long run that macroeconomy is very, very important in terms of understanding the composite picture of a country. Hope you have understood the introduction to macroeconomics. We shall, going forward, we will start trying to discuss about each and every topic in detail, and we shall try to understand macroeconomics in a better manner. Thank you for joining me today. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Let's grow together and learn together. Thank you once again for joining me today. Goodbye.